Certainly a lot going on around Alex Jones. As the world awaits these financial documents to be released, a lot of people want to know where the funding has been coming from. A lot of people want to know if he's really selling enough supplement pills to actually finance his operation. See, there's certain things that I've raised as far as questions years ago when they were very unpopular as an independent, someone that's not on the left or the right. Here's what's significant about the clips that I'm going to show with you. And we don't have the same politics. I believe that they're Trump supporters. They have a news program that they operate out of a church. I think it's normal for us to ask questions. In a past video, the host of True News was talking about how he had an opportunity to talk to Alex Jones in the past, or even to get involved or to have some association. And he didn't want any part of. I mean, there are people that they may even also be conservatives. That's what you need to understand. And like today, right? They may also be Trump supporters, Donald Trump supporters, voters, people with YouTube channels that have put out news in support of Donald Trump. Now, I'm an independent, but if there are people out there that can put on a good report and leave out the politics, then their report is worth sharing. Now, sometimes certain people out there may expose certain individuals, but their own associations are incredibly shady. Like a recent YouTuber, which I gave some props to for exposing Alex Jones in his own words. Yet his own associations, it's not something you can really get too close to. When you look at some of the other levels of content, with True News, they're honest at least about what they are. Americans that support Donald Trump, and they have a church with basically a newsroom. And so it's fair for people, like more or less, I don't know these people at True News, but they're saying the things that other people should be asking and looking into, speaking amongst themselves. They're not the left. People can even, kind of jab at them and go, yeah, talk about anything but the Clintons. True News has done plenty of hours about the Clintons. So I can see right there and then, with like the trolling that they will get as Trump supporters for daring ask healthy, normal questions. And so with that, I'm actually going to show you, I may comment here and there. I'll try to keep it minimal, but I'm going to show you, starting with this first clip, I'm going to show you two. They're going to go into this discussion about Jerome Corsi. So Jerome Corsi and Roger Stone are apparently turning on each other this week. And Jerome Corsi, I'll let the video speak for itself. You can also look at the articles coming out now in the Washington Post. Some people are wondering if the FBI is going to go after Alex Jones next. I think a lot of things are still staged, even within the FBI. I mean, their hands are not clean. The FBI is a dirty organization. So don't put it past them to even be working together to stage some sort of persecution. Now, I'm just going to stop with that. I'm going to present this for you now.
I was stunned when I read this Saturday. I read the Washington Post article, and I read the Statesman in Austin, Texas. And I was just, it never occurred to me that Robert Mueller was going to go after Alex Jones. I was like, where is this going? I saw the headline in the Washington Post. And we're not stating here in any way that Alex Jones and InfoWars did anything illegal. I want to make that very clear.
But it appears that Mr. Mueller's team may be heading in that
According
direction.
to the Washington Post, because Robert Mueller's team has not made any comments about the investigation, but we know that they leak information to the Washington Post and the New York Times and CNN. They tell CNN what time the raids are going to be held. So the fact that the Washington Post ran this story the day after Roger Stone was arrested, that's what made me pay close attention. It's like, are they sending a signal now that Alex Jones is next on the list? Is this where the next stop is in this investigation? So what they're alleging is that, and again, this is what the Washington Post is alleging, that investigators, sources, let's say sources are telling the Washington Post. We know how, I mean, the way this game is played.
Yes.
All right. So they put speculation out there, and you don't know what's true and what isn't true. So the Washington Post is saying that sources have told the Washington Post that the Mueller investigation is interested in knowing whether Alex Jones was paying off Dr. Jerome Corsi $15,000 a month to keep his mouth shut about what he knew about WikiLeaks and Roger Stone. That's the gist of what the Washington Post article is saying.
And that is the gist of it, but it is based on what appears to be some kind of evidence there about a letter that was supposedly sent from David Jones, who happens to be Alex Jones' father.
Who's a dentist. And this is the first time, you know, I've never heard this, that Alex Jones' father is a dentist. Okay, there's no big deal about that. But Alex Jones' corporate structure, all right, the company's not InfoWars.
No, it's
okay.
Free Speech
Systems, okay.
It's one of the subsidiaries. There's many.
Yes, many subsidiaries and sister-related companies, but they are registered with the state of Texas at the dental office of his father.
Right. Because
they keep the location of InfoWars secret, okay? Whereas we here say we're located at 2355 82nd Avenue.
We go to
okay?
church on Sundays.
And there is no corporation called True News. We're Flowing Streams. That's who we are. Okay, True News is a newscast produced by Flowing Streams.
But David Jones was functioning within Free Speech Systems as director of HR.
Yes.
In service to Alex Jones, and there appears to be a letter of some kind of communication going on.
Well, there is. We
put
just
up
put
by
it up on
Roger
the screen.
Stone.
We just put it up on the screen from his father. Let's put it back up there again. This is the letter that was in the Washington Post.
Actually, it was first posted and reposted by Roger Stone. Roger Stone has this letter on his Instagram right now. This letter.
Yeah, you want to read it?
So this is one of the, I say when you mentioned the Washington Post, this is a piece of fact. This right here is what we have. This letter sent on the 18th of January of this year. It states, Dr. Corsi, in June of last year, Alex Jones directed me to relieve you of your duties as a writer and editor with us. Because of our history and contract considerations, I agreed to continue your pay through the end of the contract, even though you are no longer working or writing for us. The anniversary, January 31st, of the contract date is upon us. As I discussed with you some time ago, I cannot indefinitely pay your salary continuation. We are terminating your contract with us effective January 31st, 2019, and will not be renewing it. Yours with appreciation and best wishes, David R. Jones.
Okay. On the surface, to me, this sounds legitimate. Now, here's why. Alex Jones announced on February 2nd, 2018, that Jerome Corsi had joined InfoWars.
2017.
2017, all right? February 2nd, 2017.
Okay.
Okay?
So maybe a 2-year contract is what you're thinking? Or maybe a 1 year and renewed?
Well, that part we don't know, because the letter here from his father says that they parted ways in June of 2018, so that's roughly 18 months of work, and that they continued the payments of $15,000 a month up until this week.
Well, it does say the anniversary, January 31st, of the contract date is upon us.
The anniversary, is it, okay, so what we don't know, because we don't have the contract, was it a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract? Was it automatic renewal? We don't know the terms of that deal. To me, I don't see it as suspicious that Alex Jones, through his company Free Speech, continued to make a payment to somebody who was no longer there if there was a contract.
Right.
If there was a contract.
Fulfilling a contract.
Right. If they came to where the two of them said, we can't work with each other, or this doesn't fit, all right, something's not working well here, but we signed a contract, so we're going to sever, we're going to part ways, but we're going to continue, we're going to pay out the contract. That's not unusual.
Well, I'd say what is unusual was the caption that Roger Stone put with this photo. Now, this is from the Instagram page that we got this letter from. written by Roger Stone. He wrote, "Wait, lying Jerry Corsi said yesterday he was fired by InfoWars last week after the Washington Post made inquiries about the absurd idea that Alex Jones was paying him hush money, a ridiculous and baseless claim Jerry himself started. In fact, lying Jerry was," and he used a curse word to say he was fired, "in June of 2018 after his epic drunken meltdown at a D.C. restaurant."
Is that on YouTube?
And he ended, "When will lying Jerry stop lying?" So Roger Stone in this caption is claiming.
Yeah, let's keep that up on the screen because I need to read it over again myself. Go ahead.
Roger Stone himself is claiming that the assertion that the money paid monthly to Jerome Corsi, $15,000, was hush money. And it's not Roger Stone asserting that, but it's Jerry. He's claiming that Jerome Corsi was the one that first started that assertion and even told Mueller's team that.
Roger Stone is not saying it was. He's not saying it was hush money. He's saying that Jerry Corsi. So now, that's an explosive statement.
Yes.
Because if Roger Stone is revealing that Dr. Jerry Corsi has told Robert Mueller's investigators that Alex Jones paid him $15,000 a month to keep his mouth shut, that's an explosive statement because now you have a difference in statements between Roger Stone and Jerry Corsi.
Right, and that
somebody's lying, and if somebody's lying, somebody's going to prison. Somebody's going to go to prison because Mueller's going to put somebody in prison for lying to federal investigators.
Now, if he's willing to post this publicly on Instagram, we know that Roger Stone has probably said this, even to his lawyer. This alone gives Robert Mueller probable cause to even investigate this inquiry. We look at this, the Washington Post story, we don't know their sources, but we do know this is what Roger Stone posted publicly on his Instagram.
Well, I'm going to, again, just put that back up on the screen, that letter. Okay, I mean, this is what he put on his website?
On Instagram. So
on
you
Instagram.
can write
okay,
it's like a tweet, but you put a caption on
so
it.
Instagram. So I just want to be factual where it was posted, all right?
It seems to me, Rick, that if what Roger Stone is saying here is false, Jerome Corsi could sue him over this.
Yes, but if Roger Stone is correct in saying that Jerry Corsi has stated that he was paid hush money, then we know that Jerry Corsi has been grilled under oath for countless hours by federal investigators that he looked at one point like he was about ready to crack up, couldn't take it anymore, all right? Asked for prayer. Remember that a few months ago? He asked for prayer, all right? And we said, wow, what's going on there? So if this is what the Mueller investigators are zeroing in on, why were you paid $15,000 a month by InfoWars when you didn't work there? Was it to keep your mouth shut about what you knew about WikiLeaks? That's what they're going after. So we have a difference of statements between Roger Stone and Jerry Corsi. And then Roger Stone is now, he puts a slanderous statement in there that says that he was fired from InfoWars because he got drunk in a restaurant in Washington, D.C. I know nothing about it. I don't want to comment about that.
Drunk as a skunk.
But he put it on the internet. All right. He put it out there for the whole world to see. All right. And it accused him and said, I know the real reason why you got fired. Okay. So the Washington Post article and the Austin Statesman newspaper article, they implied that Jerry Corsi got his job at InfoWars through Roger Stone. That Roger Stone is the one who introduced Jerry Corsi to Alex Jones.
Right. We know initially that Jerome Corsi was hired to be InfoWars' D.C. correspondent. This is by their own admission that he was supposed to be attending briefings. We also he was supposed to write for their website. But one thing we even noticed here, there wasn't a lot of work that Jerome Corsi accomplished. It was published on the website. He did co-host the program a couple times with Alex Jones, but honestly, it's very lacking. And you go into June of 2018, this definitely, especially based on Roger Stone's statement here, it leaves the question, what exactly was Jerome Corsi doing for InfoWars to earn $15,000 a month?
And what has he been doing since June 2018 which is obviously nothing.
It's about $90,000.
Still getting $15,000 a month. And did they cut it off this? I mean, they're cutting it off. What's the day of today?
Today's 29th.
29th. So all right. So 2 days from now, the final payment. Did they cut it off because they had planned to cut it off all along, or did they cut it off because the Washington Post is asking questions about it?
You know, it's a good question, but at this point, the evidence would have already existed. I imagine it's because it was the contract was ending, because the paper trail of money is what is being asserted here. They can't eliminate that. Talking about Jerome Corsi, we still have to explain where he was getting his income.
You know, there's a lot of jokes that I can come up with regards to this guy, but probably not the right moment.
Now, that's a good question. So it had to come from Alex Jones or his father, David, or somebody inside the organization that leaked it.
Right.
Because that's a private corporate correspondence.
Yes.
Right.
Unless InfoWars released it on their own. All right. I am going to side on, look, they had a contract. It didn't work out. They honored the contract, and they paid it off. That's the way I'm going to view it until you show me something different. Because I wouldn't want, as an employer, you know, and we don't have, well, we have contracts with not what, we have contracts with vendors, okay, right, who supply, but you know, I don't sign long-term contracts. If you do business with me, I have a 30-day out, okay? Right. So I end everything in 30 days, okay? So I don't have long-term contracts with anybody. But if I did, if I had a 1 year, 2 year contract with a vendor, a contractor, and it didn't work out, and I'm the one who said, I'd like to end this, I would honor the contract. That would be the right thing to do. So that's why I'm saying I'm not going to second guess what Alex Jones's organization is doing there, because that may be all it is, and maybe the Washington Post and others are trying to create a fire where there is no fire. But where the problem is at is that Instagram message from Roger Stone,
yes,
where he's alluding that Jerome Corsi
said it was
hush money. That's what we can't dismiss. Now, I've not heard Jerome Corsi say it, but Roger Stone is saying it. And so you've got Roger Stone fighting with Jerome Corsi, and the fight is about money Alex Jones paid.
And obviously there's bad blood between Jerome Corsi and InfoWars because they let, Jerome Corsi go.
Yes.
So if nothing else, what the Mueller team has succeeded in doing is breaking up the alt-right. Now you got them fighting against each other.
Yes. And testifying against each other.
Yes.
And somebody's lying. Somebody will go to prison for lying.
Yes, and you're talking about testifying. Jerome Corsi told Jake Tapper, actually in an interview on CNN's State of the Union, that he would be willing to testify against Roger Stone. He said, I quote, "I will be happy to testify if I would suspect to be subpoenaed, and I will let the testimony fall wherever it falls. I'm going to tell the truth to the best of my ability."
Okay, this sounds to me like when the Mueller team was really grinding Jerome Corsi about 2 months ago, and he looked like he was ready to snap.
He did.
This appears to me that he said, okay, I'm going to tell you something. I was paid $15,000 a month to keep my mouth shut.
To get him off his back, basically. He gave him a little piece
of a deal, right. If he got immunity from prosecution or a plea bargain that he's only going to serve 6 months in prison. This is serious stuff.
Yes.
I am shocked because this is now taking the Mueller investigation, President Trump, right inside Alex Jones's corporate office.
Yes.
which means that they're going to go after Alex Jones.
And this is on top of the existing lawsuits that Alex Jones is fighting for the Sandy Hook families, these other things. And it's at this point is what happens if these lawsuits or Robert Mueller actually succeed in taking someone like Alex Jones down?
Well, let me tell you, here's the first thing, the lawsuits. I lost count, 5, 6, how many lawsuits against?
Now, just keep in mind that they're being fair to Alex Jones. They support Trump. They're not cheering on Mueller.
I forget the school.
But when we get to the next video, which we'll show you now, he's asking some deeper questions about, well, where is InfoWars, though, really getting this much money? Is it really from selling these supplements?
About the Sandy Hook school shooting. I mean, now here's another statement
Video 2
that Alex Jones made that really got me, I'm puzzled by it, okay? He told the Austin Statesman, this was, I read this last Saturday, that InfoWars, again, Free Speech Systems, LLC, InfoWars, his program, rakes in $45 million per year. And he said, this year, I'll be lucky to bring in $30 million. And then he said that his salary was $2 million a year, but this year, it's all going to attorneys.
Yes,
okay?
Fees.
So for the first time, Alex is on record saying that his salary is $2 million a year and their gross income is $45 million a year. Now, I'm going to tell you on this one, I do not believe it, but if it's true, there's something very, very suspicious. You are not going to convince me that InfoWars sells $45 million worth of male potency pills per year. Are you so? Look, I'm a businessman. If you had a 40% profit margin,
This is a generous margin, let's say.
generous.
It's amazing. You're doing very well.
Most retail stores operate on 5%. I'm being generous. 40% profit margin.
So let's say there's a 40% margin.
Okay, and the average bottle of pills, vitamins, whatever you want to call, male potency pills and vitamins, let's just say the average product's what, $20?
Now, keep in mind.
All right, and the gross profit is 40% of $20.
So it's $8 per.
$8
per set.
How many bottles of male potency?
They basically turned off their likes and dislikes. They had so many dislikes, and they have a conservative audience. That's the cult of Alex Jones that we're dealing with.
$5,625,000. 5,625,000 units per year.
Per year.
Look, that puts you're like Walgreens, CVS. You're like a pharmacy at this point.
Well, that's not the only thing they sell.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it, Doc. I don't believe it. Now, if the records come out that InfoWars is bringing in $45 million,
right?
Oh, there's going to be a field day to find out. Look at the money trail. Where did the money come from?
And where did it get spent?
And
that's an incredible amount of money for an organization like his.
I run True News Flowing Streams. I run it on a fraction. And we spend it because it's expensive.
Yes.
Look at what we've built here. I know what salaries are. I know what taxes are, payroll taxes, health insurance.
So let's say the 45 million number is correct, and he's taking 2.2. Let's just round it to 2 for the sake of math.
Don't you love his hair?
You got $43 million
left over. He doesn't own television stations. He doesn't own radio stations. He doesn't buy time. Where does it go?
He's certainly not spending $43 million on equipment.
No, and employees, do you know how many employees you'd have to spend $43 million?
Well, you don't know his prostitution bill.
The excess cash, with all these things going on, to still pay out, let's say, $15,000 a month to an employee that's not even working for you, writing for you actively.
Well, that's peanuts if you have $43 million left over.
Right.
But where's the money coming from? Now the investigators are going to be looking at this. What is the real source of Alex Jones's revenue? I'm telling you, this thing is about to explode. I really think this is massive. And I don't know where this is going to lead, because I can only speculate of where
my wheels
the
are turning.
sources of money are coming from.
Maybe they'll stage an event for something to happen to the FBI director.
I will be shocked, absolutely shocked, if the records show that they are selling 4 to 5, 6 million units of male potency pills every year. I will be stunned. I'm doing something wrong here. All right, we need to switch over our method and stop asking for donations and sell pills. Because if there's $45 million a year in that, then I'm doing something wrong here. I'm working really hard and not doing this right. Okay, doctors. All right, but when you got an extra 40-some million laying around, you can become creative. You can open up offshore bank accounts. You can send money to different countries. You can stash money in different places. You can do a lot of stuff with an extra $40 million. But I can tell you right now, running InfoWars does not cost $45 million.
We know how much a website costs. We know how much marketing costs.
And bandwidth.
We know how much it costs to run a camera crew. We know all those costs. And folks,
it's not $45 million.
$43 million.
Don't believe it.
And he's not running any ads on his website from external companies. All the ads on his website, both on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, are internal ads. They're ads for his own products. So we know he's not getting revenue from that's and
there are no big companies that would be seen on Infowars.
That's right.
You're not going to see
Wars.
Ford,
Prepare your
General
children
Motors,
for the apocalypse.
Lexus. You're not going to see Kraft Foods. Nobody. You're not going to have. I was in advertising for many years. I know what you have to do to attract national advertisers, okay? And they're not going to put their ads on InfoWars. If you sell ads to anybody, they're going to be very small niche companies that do not have a big marketing budget. But it's not going to be $45 million. Not going to be. It's just not going to happen. I mean, you'd have to say 20 million from advertising, 20 million from potency pills. Still don't buy it. Where are the ads? The ads, the website doesn't have any ads on it. Where's the money coming from? This is going to open up the door. There's going to be a demand to investigate a lot of, quote, alt-right media.
Rick, how would you respond to somebody that would say, well, Rick, this is just sour grapes on your part?
It isn't. It is a news story. This is a news. They just raided and arrested Roger Stone last Friday, and he's making these statements, and it came out about the $15,000 a month payments, and Roger Stone is accusing Jerome Corsi of saying that...
Fake news. There is no Roger Stone.
I didn't say this. I'm telling you what I'm reading. And a judge, I had nothing to do with a judge ordering Alex Jones to turn over his financial records to the lawyers of the lawsuits. What I'm trying to tell people is get ready.
He just kind of undermined control, not fully undermined control.
Expose of InfoWars.
He has enough brain cells to ask a few basic questions.